Blog Talk Radio.
But we are making a stand, and we're waking everybody up that 9/11 was an inside job. And you are the minority. You are the cowards who don't know the truth. You're the people that serve this evil system. You're the people that serve a system that hurts innocent men, women, and children. Not just Iraqis, not just Afghans, not just Africans, but the people right here in this nation. You serve a new world order that attacks and feeds on you. And I'm here to tell you that you will be defeated. Your hours are numbered. We've got the energy. We've got the life force. All you've got is evil backing you up. All you've got is greed and liking to look at yourself in the mirror. Because deep down, the New World Order is a pot-bellied, chicken-necked ninny. And all the armor and all the weapons are nothing. You are nothing compared to good. You are nothing compared to life. And you will be defeated. I want the individuals out there, I want free humanity to turn themselves loose, to cut the chains loose, and to use the end of that chain to slap the New World Order right upside the head. You've got the power. You want to know who's going to defeat the New World Order? It is you. You're the individuals that are going to be able to defeat this system. You're the individuals that are going to be able to take down the New World Order. It doesn't matter if Ron Paul wins. It doesn't matter if they rig the election. What matters is that we're starting to stand up. We're starting to move. We're starting to find our legs. We're starting to build our muscle. We're starting to realize that we do have power, and we can work together, and we can take action, and that the naysayers are a pack of weak liars who have never had any successes in their life and who are upset and frustrated to see us beginning to have victories against tyranny. They don't have any respect for themselves. They don't have any vision, and they don't have any will. And they sure don't have any of the power that shines out of God's soul and energizes all life in the universe.
Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war. But there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? When Nikita Khrushchev has told his people, he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better rev than death, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shotters around the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which whether we like it or not. spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the program. Joseph Gibson broadcasting from Greensboro, North Carolina. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. The phone number to call in is 657-383-0616. If you want to be connected, remember, I don't censor anyone. I don't edit anyone. I don't put you in a screen room and ask you what you want to talk about like all other media radio shows do. We are 100% live here. Everyone gets a voice on this program after my short introduction. Arguing with people on social media this week about this caravan. Oh, the 2 children that got tear gassed. But nobody talks about the 200 men throwing bricks at our border agents. And you got liberals. These liberals really want to plunge us into a civil war in this country. They really do. And I challenged many liberals to call in, but you know, they're only social media trolls. They hide behind their masks like Antifa. I contacted Antifa, their website. I call them what they are: scumbags, phonies, balonies, nonsense, cowards. Hide behind your mask. I told them I'll leave the porch light on for you anytime you want to come by. Don't come to Summerfield, North Carolina, or Greensboro, North Carolina, you faggots. That's all you Antifa scumbags are. There's a bunch of faggots trying to plunge this country into a civil war, hoping you can obtain socialism and get free food, free housing, free health care, which nothing in the Constitution states you are entitled to. The Constitution of the United States does not give anyone the entitlement program. Look, you have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What you do with that is on you. Shame on you if you think you're entitled to something, you stupid-ass liberals. And I challenge any liberal to call in, press 1, because most of them are cowards. They'll just listen and hide, social media warriors. I'm for real on social media. I put my name out there. I welcome anyone to call into this program and voice their opinion. Hey, look, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. We can have an honest discussion. But most liberals only have 3 minutes of brain time before they start calling you a racist, you're homophobic, and your God is fake, and all that other crap. I've debated with liberals in the street many times. And like another gentleman called in a few weeks ago on the radio show, he gave a very good scenario. It's like playing chess with a pigeon. The pigeon stares at the pieces, and it doesn't understand the moves. So what does it do? It knocks them all over and flies away. That's what a liberal is. Unless a liberal can call in and challenge me and have an honest discussion, I don't care about God, the Second Amendment. You want to talk about the Founding Fathers? You want to talk about the First Amendment? You want to talk about the Bill of Rights? Trust me, I will defeat you in any argument. I'm no dummy. I've studied theology. I've studied U.S. history. I've studied world history. You're not going to win. Because your liberal argument is socialism. That's what you people want out there, you liberals. You know? And it's disgusting. You're not entitled to anything at all. I don't know what it is with people, they think entitlements. They're entitled to something. First of all, we went over a lot about this. Okay, and I've got a couple callers already pressing 1. I'll get to you after the introduction, I promise. Everyone has a voice. All you got to do is press 1 time, and I'll see question marks come up next to area codes. That's how I identify numbers, area codes. Okay? Everyone, I don't censor people. So just give me a couple minutes here. And I want to go back to Thursday night show where I tried to explain everybody. I read them, actual Senate Judiciary documents about how it doesn't matter. We're under, I don't know how to say it, we're under Emergency Powers Act since 1933. They readdressed that in 1974. I read that to you. The Federal Reserve Act of 1913 enslaved all of you. And the Fed, restoring sound money. We all need money to barter with. You're a slave to the Federal Reserve. Just look at your birth certificate. Anyone who has a copy of the birth certificate, look in the right-hand corner. There's usually red imprinted numbers. Those are bank routing numbers. Years ago, someone turned me on to this. You used to be able to go to fidelity.com, type those numbers in, or go to a stockbroker and say, what do these numbers mean? Oh, well, guess who's trading with you? Amazon, Walmart, because you're born with a TBA account. Look it up. It's called an amount of money that you may earn throughout your lifetime, and the Federal Reserve prints that, and it gives it to Wall Street. And they trade with you, and you're taxed on your labor. That's a damn sin. Any of you who pay taxes on your labor. No, taxes don't pay for roads. They don't pay for the cops or the fire department. We have a machine called the Federal Reserve that prints the money. Okay? Okay? Oh, Lord. Well, I think I just lost 3 liberals right there. They just dropped the call line. Dumbasses. But anyway, let's see. Let's get to the first caller here. I want to give everyone a voice. And if you don't want to call in, you can join in the chat room. We got a chat room here, and you can hide there and make all your silly little comments in there if you want. But let's see, area code 276. Go ahead. You're live on Blog Talk Radio. You should be connecting right now. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, sir. Go ahead and say your piece, and you got a voice on a worldwide radio show. And trust me, we've got thousands of listeners. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Gibson. I actually just saw you on Facebook, and I got the number to the show, and I was like, all right, I'll call in, and I'll, say a couple words that I wanted to say, I'm a diehard conservative, man. I'm about fed up with this political correctness bullshit, and I've been fed up with it. It's it's horrible because these people, these liberals, are operating on a level of cognitive dissonance that I've never even seen before as far as our border security goes. It is
yeah. Did you see the post?
Did
you see the posts where people they're talking about no more borders? What's that mean? North American Union? What are you talking about? No more borders? No more country? What the hell's wrong with these people? I agree with you.
Can you say threat to national security? Does that not dawn on them? We have to our own nation. We cannot be like the European Union. That shit over there is failing miserably. These women are getting raped. These children are getting raped and killed, and it's horrible. And they're wanting these illegal aliens to just jump over the border. I respect any immigrant that comes here legally and goes through the right avenues. They're checked thoroughly, and we know, okay, we can assume that these are decent people that are coming here to work and make a better life. I can agree with that, but you can't just hop over the border and just start claiming all of our benefits. It's
Or
ridiculous.
throw rocks and bricks at our border patrol agents. That is a crime in itself. And and these liberals don't get it. They talk about it's terrorism. Trump is a terrorist. Arrest Ivanka Trump, for her 10 emails. You know what I mean? These
that was
liberals
bullshit.
Are just
yeah, that was complete bullshit.
Psycho. Yeah. I've seen all the posts.
And they try to appeal to our emotion. Like they try to throw a guilt trip on you, like you're some sort of monster for looking out for your country first. How long have we sat back during the Obama administration and watched him just give our country away?
But wait a second, sir. Let me explain this to you. Obama did the same thing. He tear gassed people at the border. He put people that were crossing over the border illegally in cages. You can look that up on the internet.
He sure did.
But none of the liberals, of the liberals out there, if you look at their Facebook, go through their Twitter feed and everything, none of them complain. And I want to ask you this question. If Trump is such a racist and this country is so evil and there's Nazis everywhere and it's such a bad place, what the hell are they trying to get into this country for then? Right?
Yeah, you tell me. And did you see where he held that meeting at the White House for young black conservatives? And there were hundreds of them, man. Hundreds of them that showed up, thousands even. that I saw with
I
my
agree
own eyes.
100%.
I have friends
Yeah.
on Facebook that
Trump.
went.
The thing of
I'm like,
it is about Trump, and you stated you're a conservative, but look, it's Republican, Democrat, blah 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 blah. You know, in the end, like I said, I focus on ending the Federal Reserve and enslaving us, and that's something you're very intelligent. I know you are. You should look up. And the acts of 1871. I talked about that on my last show. But Trump is not a globalist. He openly admitted he's not. That's why the media can't stand him. They tear him apart, you know. But we, the people, know the truth. The guy's a businessman. We needed a businessman in that office. We did. Look, our unemployment rate is 3.7%, the lowest. Not even Reagan had that lowest unemployment rate. You know? I mean, the guy's a businessman. We needed someone in there because the United States is a corporation to run the business. And Trump is doing a good job. The economy is doing well. Gas prices are down. And the tariffs that he's putting on China, good. You know what? The United States ain't a bunch of suckers. You know what I mean? Make them pay.
Yeah,
Make them
I
pay.
do.
Why do we got to be suckers? Yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to give you
And
some
that
more time to
globalist
talk
agenda,
without interrupting.
that globalist agenda, you brought that up, and I'm like, thank God somebody else can say it, because the globalist agenda has been crystal clear. You know, the destabilization of the Middle East. You know, it's bringing it under UN control.
Everyone
with the,
attacked
you know, with the UN
Israel.
migration pact.
You know, yes, and not to interrupt you, but poor little tiny little Israel. You know, they're hated around the world, but all the countries around them hate them. And if you go back to the 1967 war, when all the countries tried to attack them, if you go to YouTube, you can see videos of tanks shooting at Israelis, and a sandstorm would just wipe those tanks away. Because look, you know, I don't know what you are on the religious stage or whatnot, but God blesses Israel, and as long as America is standing with Israel, then we are a blessed nation. We are. Look at California burning down. We all know what California is about. Good God, right?
Yeah. You know, you look up the very word Hollywood, dude. You look up the word Hollywood, and it has occultic ties to it. These people practice some stuff that I don't even want to know about. You know, it's.
I'm from. Listen, I'm
it's
from
bad.
Connecticut, brother. I'm from Connecticut, and I work for a moving company in West Haven, Connecticut. And real quick, anyone who wants to cue in or disagree with us, you can press the number 1 right now. And I invite liberals, if you got the guts, or any Antivas out there to call in. I know you won't because you wear a mask. Call in. I'm from Connecticut, and we were doing a moving job in New Haven, Connecticut at Yale University. And we went by the Skull and Bones tomb.
Oh, shit.
And all we heard was, we heard screams and yelling. And George Bush was a Skull and Bones maggot. He was, you know. I mean, I know you're a conservative, but I'm just saying George Bush, he was a part of that occultic, magical thing that they call, you know, the Freemason lodges and all that stuff. And John F. Kennedy spoke about that before he was assassinated, you know, secret societies, you know, and he tried to end the Federal Reserve.
They will.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And
but I want to keep you on the phone line. I want to keep you on the phone line. Go ahead. I'm going to give you a few more minutes, and we got other callers. I want to keep you on the phone line because we may have some people who may disagree with you. So that would be very interesting. But liberals, I want to hear from liberals. I want to hear from the dirtbag liberals out there. Press 1. Come on, guys. You're tough on social media. Go ahead, sir.
You know, have you ever? You know, I'm sure you're aware of like the Frankfurt School. You know, because I think that shit is what really brought this progressivism to the United States. You know, these people came from Germany, and they started introducing this cultural Marxism, and that's, you know, that's really driven the wedge, you know, between the two extremes, you know, and caused them to be violent recently, in my opinion. Because these Marxist beliefs of political correctness and racial appropriation and shit that really hurts.
We may have. Hang on, sir. We may have some liberals on the line. Let's see. I got a 336 number. Your number's unknown. We are going to go 100% live. Everybody, I don't screen anybody, but everyone stay on the line and everyone gets a voice. I see a bunch of people pressed 1. So let's hear from someone else. Let's see what they have to say. Go ahead, 336.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, 336.
Hello?
Go ahead. What do you want to?
Okay.
Yeah, you're live.
I'm
Go
live.
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you're live. I don't screen callers. Go ahead.
Hey Joe, how you doing? I love your show. I wasn't able to listen to it in the last couple of weeks. I've been on a little bit of a vacation. But anyway, where I'm at in let's just say Volusia County, Florida, there is I've been watching the local news, and you were right, Joe. They are trying to do away with paper money. What they're trying to do is pass something down here where you can only use debit or credit. And there's like a
you're telling me.
foundation.
Whoa! Hang on a second here. You're telling me that you're in a place in Florida that doesn't accept Federal Reserve notes that says for all debt, public and private?
Well, they are trying to make it official, but what they're doing is putting off some local people that are here, that people that may not have a bank account or whatever. I don't know. I don't know all the details, but they are trying to do away with paper money.
Well, the next thing is,
your Federal Reserve note will be no good anymore, I suppose.
Wow, that's interesting information. I appreciate it, and I know you're a supporter of the show. Thank you. But I've got a bunch of callers on the line, so stay on the line, and hopefully some liberals will call in and debate me on some of the things that they've been talking about. Everyone, you remain on the line. I'm not going to mute anybody because I give everyone a voice. I got to go up the line in order. Everyone will get a chance to speak, I promise. Go ahead, area code 651. Go ahead. Area code 651. Yeah, you're live. Go ahead. You're live on Blog Talk Radio. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is Clay Douglas here. Now, I'd like for someone to please explain to me why these people, I call them liberal social justice warriors here. They say, you know what, you can't even change your baby's diaper without asking that baby's permission. Please, someone explain that to me here.
Well, to be honest with you, that's the first I heard of that, but I wouldn't be surprised from these liberal socialist justice warriors, you know. And what they're doing, sir, I'm going to be totally honest with you. They're plunging this country into a civil war, and it's going to come, you know. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because you know what happens is brother against brother, sister against sister. And, you know, these liberals are just disinformed. They're brainwashed. They've been eating too much chemicals in their food, and they've been taught too much nonsense in schools today. The schools today have no God, no country, and they don't believe in the Second Amendment. That's why schools are being shot up. You know, I mean,
the liberals want to get rid of religion altogether.
Yeah. Yes, you're correct. You're correct.
People nowadays, they have no morals like we did back in the day here.
Well, let's look at it like this, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No, I just wanted to make a point about religion in schools. In the 1950s, God was removed from our schools. If you look what's happened since the 1950s, were there any school shootings in the 1950s? Somebody please find me one. No. Okay? We've taken God out of the schools. We have this progressiveness that the caller, three callers previously, who's still on the line, it's a socialist value that people just don't understand. They think they're entitled to something. They don't want to work for a living. You know, they don't want blood, sweat, and tears. They don't believe in God, country, and guns. And it's important that we stress this so much while we're still able to have a First Amendment in this country. But 651, go ahead. I'll let you make your point, and I got some more callers to get to. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I understand. Basically, to respond to what you were just saying about they don't want to, get out off their butts and work. They actually they have a thing now where you can just sit at your computer in front of your Xbox or their PlayStation here and make money. And you broadcast yourself live through the internet and make money. Now, how ridiculous is that? What
You're
exactly
absolutely
are
correct.
they contributing to society? They're not doing anything.
Nothing. That's not work. Let me tell you something. People who sit in a cubicle, sitting at a computer every day, they call that work and stressful. Okay? They suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder sometimes. So, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, knock it off. That's not work. Knock it off.
That reminds me of something. You know what? The stolen valor. People who say they serve our country. I see a Leroy Dickinson in the chat room. He said, "Wait a minute, I sit in a cubicle." Do you see that too, Charlie?
Well, good for him. Good for him. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Pick up a chainsaw or go on a farm, because we don't have any farms anymore, and wake up at 4:30 in the morning and milk 60 cows, feed them 60 bales of hay, feed them 2,000 pounds of silage, and then 3,000 pounds of grain, and then go eat breakfast, get your ass back out in 100-degree heat, and cut 3,000 acres of hay. And then 2 days later, rake the hay, bale it, and then do the same thing over and over. That's blood, sweat, and tears. That's what we were taught. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. That's a fact.
Now, I can tell you one more thing before you let me go.
Leroy says. I can respect what Leroy says. I can. And I'm going to connect Leroy in a second because he's in my queue. But I want you to finish up your comment and stay on the line.
I would like to. Yes, I will. There's one more thing before you let me go. I'd like to bring up. Now, there's also in your room a fly catch. Now, he said, yes, there were school shootings in the 1950s here. Now, this fly catch used to troll my blog talk radio show.
Okay, I see that. I'm paying attention to fly catch. Yeah. Well, I don't like the censor free speech. Everyone has a right. Everyone has a right to their First Amendment as long as they don't threaten me or yell fire. Everyone has a right to their opinion. But at the same time, list of school shootings in the United States. I'll look that up, Flycatch. I will, but I guarantee you it doesn't number to what's happening today. Okay. And I've got Mandela Khan on the line here. He's very interesting. And I've got Leroy on the line, so let's go up the line here. And everyone, please, I'm going to leave everyone live. You can hang up if you want.
Because I guarantee you, they're probably going to be. They probably have. Whether he talks about working in a cubicle, but I do agree with you. It's not. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No talking over everybody. Wait till the person yields, please, or I'll have to mute your number. Let the person finish his point, because we got a lot of people on the phone line tonight. Let's just keep order. No yelling at each other. Just let's have a discussion. That's what this is about. Go ahead, sir. Finish your point, and then I'll connect Leroy. Okay? All right, I think he's finished.
Sir, no,
all right,
so
go ahead, sir.
I'm good. You can take the next. Yes, sir. You can take the next caller.
Right. I'll take the next caller, and everybody, please, who's live on the line, just watch your background noise, and I'll get to everybody. And at the end of the show, I just want to let everyone know, all those who hang in there to the end of the show, everyone gets a couple minutes to say what they want to say and voice their opinion, and that's very important because one day we may lose our First Amendment. I mean. It's crazy what's going on. So, Mandela Khan, you're after Leroy. Okay, go ahead, Leroy.
All right, thanks. And I will mute myself when I'm done talking, so I'll get rid of any background noise I got, because there's noisy in here. But I'll start off with basically where we left off with the cubicle right there at the end, but I've been jotting down little notes throughout the program tonight. And, I worked my ass off for 20 years and to get to this cubicle. And it started out doing mechanic work, really, doing the family thing. I went to college. I went to a lot of things, but I traveled the world while I worked at the family auto shop. And to say anyone's never that works in a cubicle has never busted their ass or done anything hard would be sadly mistaken, because there's nothing worse knowing that when you bust that bolt loose, you're going to bust every knuckle in your hand and blood's going to be gushing everywhere, and you still bust it loose to get the job done, and that's what it's all about. Now, so don't ever put down anybody that's in a cubicle, because you don't know how they got there, okay? And I worked my ass off and risked my life several times to do it. And my family paid the toll, not just me. Now, to get back with a caravan, when you first started the program, a CNN reporter has actually reported that the caravan was mostly men. He'll probably get fired tomorrow, okay? That was on CNN, I think, last night or something. The reporter was mostly men, all right? So don't give me this shit about kids and everything else like that. But, Obama actually said, and there's recording on this on the Internet, all you got to do is look it up, send the kids back. If you send these kids up here to our border, we're going to send them back. So what would you think would be more dangerous? Send these kids back through Mexico, which is a shithole of a country, just like Trump said, or put them in a nice detained cell where they're playing Xbox and watching movies and getting fed until we figure out what to do with them. So whose stance is better on that? Trump or Obama? Send them back walking 1,500 miles, or let's feed them and let them have a life until we figure out what the hell we're going to do with them. All right, enough said about that. Socialism is great, by the way. It's really great for the first couple of years. And then guess what happens? Stuff starts running out. Food starts running out. Money starts running out. Water starts running out, and you end up like Venezuela is right now. Because 20 years ago, Venezuela was nice. Right now, it's the biggest shithole on this side of the hemisphere.
And you've been there, right? You've been there. Didn't you go to Venezuela?
Been there 3 times.
There you go.
Been there 3 times.
First-hand experience, folks, right there. Yep.
Yeah, and you talk about taxes. You talked about taxes going for roads and everything. You're right. Back before there was taxes, back before 1913, we had roads and stuff. Now, we didn't have the interstate system that we have now that was really developed in the 30s and 40s for World War II. That's why it's called I-whatever for Eisenhower. But we still had them. We don't need taxes. Do we need some? I believe we need a little bit of tax here and there to help, this. But government's too big now. And if we shrunk that down, we shrink down our taxes. Paper money and drug dealers is what that one caller said. Paper money. You're doing away paper money in Florida. And I think the one push for paper money to get rid of that is for drug dealers. Because how many drug dealers are you going to sell a damn rock to somebody if they can't get $3 fucking bucks? They got to swipe a card. They can't validate that transaction, can they? But they had a Honduras refugee on TV the other night. She gave her name to the camera. Wrong move. People started Googling and looking her up on Facebook. Back in Honduras, this woman's walking around with a $3,000 pocketbook, a diamond ring bigger than a boulder off freaking Mount Rushmore, but she's complaining about the food that she's being fed. Shut up! Get your ass back to Honduras. It's really. Then you touched off on Bible, religion, and schools. Whether you believe, and everybody knows my stance on this, whether you believe in the Bible, the religions, or anything else like that, one thing it does teach you, and I've said this before, it teaches you good morals to live by in life. Whether you believe in it or not, it gives you good morals to live by. And shootings and guns was about the last one. Shootings and guns. There was a lot more guns.
That Kim
I'll answer your question in a second. Let me just get my topic off.
Being high on ecstasy during the sex tape she filmed, because I think she's full of it.
High on ecstasy when? What? Where?
Oh, it's just the news about that Kim Kardashian sex tape that came out a few years back. She says that she was high on ecstasy at the time.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
I don't
Well,
give
anyway,
two
anyway,
things about
listen, folks, real quick.
Kardashian.
The truth about the caravan. Glenn Beck covered it. A caller called in from Honduras.
Joe.
Okay.
Why would they travel to Tijuana? Joe, why would they travel to Tijuana? Why won't they go to Brownsville, Texas? It's 1,500 miles closer.
I understand that, but I'm trying to tell you the
exactly.
Truth, okay? And the truth about the caravan, this is a political stunt. It's funded by Venezuela and the Honduras government, okay? And I don't know if any liberals are involved or not, which probably they are. You can go to glennbeck.com and look it up and listen to him interview someone from Honduras. These people are paid to do this, okay? That's what's happening right now. But I've got other callers here, and Leroy, I've got to get to everybody. I promised I would. And Mandela-Khan's next, and then 443. Okay, Mandela-Khan. Well, this should be interesting. Mandela-Khan always brings an interesting point to the show. And like I said before we end the show here tonight, everyone will have a few minutes to just have their speech and voice your opinion, because that's what this show's about.
Did you know
day,
that Glenn Beck is a Mormon?
This show will be banned. No. I'll answer your question. Hang on, I got to get to the next call. Sir, I got to get to another call. No, Mandela-Khan is up next. Hang on. He's not a Mormon,
yes,
trust
but
me.
This show will not be banned. Someone said that the show will be banned. I say no.
Well, it might be one day, according to the New World Order. But Mandela-Khan, you're live on the radio. Let's hear what you have to say here tonight. Mandela-Khan, are you there or not? Go ahead. You're live. Go ahead.
Joe.
Go ahead, Mandela-Khan. You're live. Go ahead.
All right. You have a lot of distractions there. You have a lot of distractions there.
What I'll do is people got
so.
background noise, so what I'll do is I'll mute a couple callers here just to make sure. But don't hang up because everyone will get a voice, all right? Go ahead, Mandela-Khan. Go ahead, speak. You get a voice on the program, as always. Go ahead.
Last week, you had a very powerful interaction that the secured party with the International Commercial Admiralty Administrative Remedy for not only this country, but the rest of the world did not engage in. But we're going to fill that in as we go forward. The fact of the matter is that everyone in this country is led by a handful of tyrants. And if you go to the document that you say that you love, taxation without representation is tyranny.
You're talking
and we have
about
a right.
Mandela-Khan, let me interrupt you. Just to refer, you're talking about the show on Thanksgiving where I talked about the secured party and creditor, affidavit of status as a secured party and creditor. And I read that over the air for everyone who wants to pursue something like that. But if you got a family and everything, and kids, not to interrupt you, Mandela-Khan, if you got a family and children, be careful. They'll arrest you. They'll put you in jail. And you'll fight
Who
it.
Are you talking?
Who you will win.
Who are you talking
You'll win. I'm talking to everybody out there, including you. I'm talking about the document you were mentioning on the radio on Thursday's show at 8 p.m. The secured party creditor.
No. Hey, Joe, listen. I didn't speak last week. You were talking about a document, just like you be talking about the Constitution. I did not enter into international public record of the veto and overriding the Constitution as it stands and the document that you read, because Class Action 567 has politically and legally defeated the United States federal government without firing a shot. Why? Because of its own testimony of violation of the national democratic rights of the people under the Constitution. I know I've said a lot right there, but let me fill in the blanks. RICO statutes is illegal organized crime. And under RICO statutes, if you can tie a person from the corner or a person from Congress to an enterprise.
And hang on. I just want to let all the callers know that press 1, you will be heard, okay? I just want to give everyone a voice like I promised. So go ahead, Mandela Khan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then if you can tie anyone from the bottom of the criminal offense to the highest order of the criminal offense, then you are guilty of RICO statutes. And we are indicting the federal class action 567, as I am the judge, and the jury is the people, by the people, for the people, who are suffering from these handful of tyrants. Now, under the RICO statutes, loan sharking has been declared illegal. But the federal government, just like the war and drugs, they took that over. What is loan sharking? Loan sharking is when you set up a Ponzi scheme of monopoly to where I may, you say, I'm going to loan you some money, I'm going to give you some credit, or I'm going to do some this, and then you charge me an astronomical amount of interest. That's that organized crime. Loan sharking is serious violation. If I borrow $100 from you, or you borrow $100 from me, you're entitled to nothing, only just that $100. So the federal government, under payday loans, under a loan from this for some furniture, your title loans, all of that, and so is banking under the federal statutes of RICO when it comes to interest and this thing.
Well, when it comes to banking,
call...
Mandela Khan, we got a lot of callers on the line here. I want to give you enough time to speak.
Okay.
But
well, don't interrupt me. And then
fractional reserve banking. Go ahead. Take 2 minutes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take 2 minutes.
Listen, if you don't interrupt me, I'll get in and get out. Right? But you won't let me get it in because you know I'm gonna kick your ass, right? Now, let me go into this thing. Let me go into this thing called. Let me go into this thing called when we put in some money in the bank. They have a term that they call overdraft. Overdrafting takes in from poor black, brown, red, yellow, and white people, takes over $50 billion out of poor people's pockets through overdrafting. So if you look at overdrafting, the courts, the attorneys, the judges, the insurance companies, the bankers, these gangsters, they're all in a Ponzi scheme of monopoly because overdrafting is when they mostly allow from one of their friends or something to tap into your account, and you know that you got $500 in there, you know your credit or whatever line, you're going to spend $500 most part, but they allow someone else, a third party, to come in and overdraft you deliberately because you don't have access to these outside people who's coming into your account, but you have already given them authorization for maybe 1 or 2 transactions. But because they have your numbers, your credit numbers, they go in and overdraft you, and only poor people are overdrafts. That's another part of that RICO statute, that organized crime and loan sharking, where the federal government is by force taking money out of poor people's pockets. So therefore, they have been indicted under war crimes, cruel and unusual punishment. Class Action 567 is the bloodless revolution, and all it takes is the people who are suffering to come together as one and quit looking at this black versus white. It's about wrong versus right. So I'm going to rest our case right there, but that was last week's program. And on the way outro, I'll discuss what y'all discussing tonight.
That's fine. Thank you, Mandela Khan. I appreciate your time here and calling into the show. You're a supporter of the show, but I've got many callers, and everyone gets a voice on the program. All you have to do is press the number 1. I want to hear from 443. I'm going to unmute you, and I'll go down the line in order. Everyone will get a voice. Just be patient. I know liberals run out of time because they only have 3 minutes of brain span. I know invited a lot of liberals here to debate me on many issues, and hopefully some of them will. We'll see. Go ahead, 443. You're live.
Yeah, this is Brother Mercy. I was going to say, hey, haven't talked to you in a long time. Are you still having your show on Thursday?
Well, I've been switching it around, Brother Mercy, and tonight I had to do it tonight at 7:30. I advertise Thursdays usually, but it's good to hear your voice, brother, and it's been a long time. I know you've been a supporter of my program, and I love you, and I miss you.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, I just wanted to say I definitely disagree with the immigration policy that's going on. I don't agree that they should be detained because what's going on is they're not getting correct health care while they're being detained, and that's just becomes more of a governmental...
Brother Mercy, hang on. What do you mean correct health care? I mean, why are we?
Because we got
why
a
are
woman
they
now.
entitled
We got
to
a
health
mother.
care, brother?
No, but listen. When you detain someone, you can't just not take care of them. That's a governmental expense. That's like incarceration. When you incarcerate somebody, guess what? You got to feed them. Guess what? You got to take care of them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Should they be punished though should they be punished for throwing bricks and rocks at our border agents? Should they be arrested and detained as prisoners?
But all of them.
I mean, what do we do?
But all of them are not doing that. My point is this: detainment, and I'm just not sure that's going to be the correct measure because other countries. They do refugees. You know, people do refugees in other countries, like in Europe.
No, sir. Oh, no. That caravan broke down barriers from the Mexican police and went up to Tijuana. Do you know the Tijuana mayor actually said, let's make Tijuana a great place again? You know, like Donald Trump, make America great again. He said, these people are an invasion on our city. But you won't see that in the media. You don't see that on Fox News or on social media. You know what? Look, I understand people want a better place to live, but there's another agenda here, Brother Mercy. There really is. But go ahead, finish up your point because I got many other callers. Sure we could. We got plenty of detention camps all around the country, all ready to go for you and me, brother.
It's not working. It's not working. It's not working because they're separating the kids from their parents. And now you got all these children that don't know who their parents are.
Brother Mercy, hang on a second here, Brother Mercy. If I put my child in harm's way, CPS will be knocking at my door, separating me from my children. We are a country of laws and borders, are we not? Or are we just going to give up our borders and become a North American Union? Is that what you want, a new world order?
It's not black and white. You understand?
It is.
It's not black and white.
It is black and white. It is black and white. We have a constitution and we're a country of borders, my friend. We are.
I understand that, but you can't incarcerate all those people.
Sure you can't do it. Sure you could. There's plenty of.
Okay.
Well, then
you see it's not working because the judge. Hold on. The judges are now ordering Trump to fly them back to their country. All those planes, you're spending more money. You're spending a lot of money.
So what?
You got to incarcerate these people. You got to get plane tickets to fly back.
The money. Brother Mercy, the Federal Reserve prints the money. We got plenty of money to spend.
Okay.
All they got to do is print up another $1 trillion. You know, come on. You know the truth. Come on. You know that, brother.
So if they can spend all that money there, why they always talking about they ain't got no money? Or there's
because they're
money
lying
problem.
to you, my brother. My brother, we've gone over this many
you're
times.
You're going to spend $1 trillion. You're going to spend $1 trillion.
Why not? It's fake money. It's $1 trillion. It's money, brother. Your taxes don't pay for the roads or police. Fractional reserve banking. Will someone call in and explain to Brother Mercy fractional reserve banking? I don't want to go over this again. Brother Mercy, finish. I won't interrupt you again. You get 1 minute to make your point because we got a bunch of other people, but I'll keep you on the line, I promise. Go ahead.
Okay. All I'm trying to say is not that simple. You got to pay for these things, and you can't just keep printing money because then the money ain't going to be worth jack. And then your money ain't nothing.
You're right.
Your money ain't jack.
It's not worth nothing.
Then you're going to go back to the days. You're going to take it out of circulation. You're going to take it out. If you just keep printing it, it ain't worth nothing. That's,
and that's what they're doing today. And that's the goal, Brother Mercy. That's the goal of the Federal Reserve Act of 1930. But anyway, we'll go over this again. We'll talk. We'll discuss this. You're a supporter of the program.
Right.
I want to hear other viewpoints. So I'll leave you on the line, though. 515, and then we'll go down to a couple unknown callers. Go ahead.
Hey, it's been Woody from the morning.
515. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing okay. I just want to say, that Brother Mercy, if he okay with the caravan coming, why don't he open his doors up? Say, hey, come on over here. I'll take in 6, 7 of you. but he ain't gonna do it.
That's like Rihanna. That's like Rihanna. Sir, 515. Let me interject here. That's like Rihanna. She called Trump a terrorist for firing tear gas. Well, Rihanna owns a 20,000 square foot mansion. You know what? How about we give one caravan member 1,000 feet, Rihanna? How about that, Rihanna? Open up the door, Rihanna. Open up the door. Let them come to your house. You feed them if you're so concerned. But go ahead, sir.
Well, that's right. What I'm trying to say is, you try to have think about other people. You want to have a big heart, but at the same time, if it came down to it, if it's up to you, you say, yeah, I got a big heart. Let them through. Let the caravan through. But are they coming to live with me? No. I say, let them through, but they ain't coming to live with me. And that's what most of these liberal Democrats think. That's how they think. When it comes down to it, they say no. They ain't coming to live with me. They find somewhere else to live.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. I told everyone, learn the truth about the caravan. I posted it on Facebook, the Glenn Beck Show. Okay? They exposed the caravan. But, you got to pay attention. You're absolutely correct. Most of these people are felons. They actually were in this country at one time and were deported. And look, we can't judge the character of every person in that caravan. But at the same time, at the point of entry, everyone needs to follow the laws of this country. If we don't, we're not a country of laws. Let's just have damn anarchy. Let's plunge into a civil war and let the strong survive. Because that's what these liberals are really pushing. We are a country of laws. Yeah, that's what they want. Absolutely correct, sir.
You know what? I may be a black man. but I tell you what, I stand up for my Second Amendment. Hey, you want my guns?
Amen to you.
I tell you what, you come to my
and
lawn,
take them.
Uninvited.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
That's right.
That's right. About that.
We have a Constitution in this country. The Constitution is the best document that has ever been written around the world. And like I said before, for all the new callers here, before I get to other callers, if Trump is such a Nazi and he's an anti-Semite, even though he's got a daughter that's a Jew, okay, all right, and we're a country of hate and disorder, what the hell is everyone trying to come here for? Why do they want to come here? I'd be trying. I mean, if we're that kind of country, I'd be trying to get the hell out of here. But anyway, let's go down the line here. I see Leroy clicked in again, and let's go to a private caller. Private caller, you're live. Go ahead. Let's hear your opinion. There you go. All right. There we go. We got crank callers, folks, but that's what we do on a 100% live show. Let's go to another private caller. Let's go. Private caller, go ahead. Let's see if we can unmute him. I don't know. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am. You're live. Yeah, you're live. Go ahead.
My name's Gary, and I'm not a ma'am. I'm a mister.
Mister, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I don't know. We can identify. We can identify ourselves today in today's society. I could be a woman. I could be a man. I could be a dog. I could worship a tree. I'm sorry. I apologize. But go ahead. You're live.
Too.
Okay, so listen, I am very liberal, and I have to tell you, it's not that I necessarily don't agree with the caravan. I don't. Being a liberal who voted for Hillary, I disagree with the caravan. I do not think that these people should come into our country, okay, and just take over. Most of them are criminals, murderers, rapists, and prostitutes. And they do not deserve to be here. They don't deserve to take over the hardworking American people, like myself, like you.
Well, ma'am, you're a liberal. You're a liberal, and you know what? You're a liberal.
No, sir, that's a mister. That's a mister.
Oh, mister. I'm going to tell you something right now. You're a liberal. You're a liberal with common sense. You're a liberal with common sense.
Philadelphia Eagles there. Might be a Philadelphia Eagles there.
But let's give her say. Let's let her talk for a minute or two, and then I got Dr. Peter Ventura on the line. Go ahead, mister.
Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead, mister. Mr. Barrett.
Just call me Gary. And
okay.
My problem my problem with Donald Trump and most of the Trump supporters isn't about the caravan and the immigration. It's mostly the way that they treat, the gays, the homosexuals like myself.
Well, I don't think Donald Trump ever made any remarks against gays or transsexuals. I mean, if you can post that on my Facebook where he did, I believe Donald Trump is an anti-globalist, and I'm going to tell you right now, sir, that in the New World Order, you won't have a voice. So Donald Trump is an anti-globalist, and he's not an anti-Semite like fake news likes to report. He has a daughter that's a Jew, okay? And I think Donald and how could he be an anti-Semite like CNN calls him? How could he be with a daughter that's a Jew? I mean, really, Donald Trump is a businessman. Donald Trump is a businessman. He's done good things so far.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I agree. Also, it's not Donald Trump that's against the homosexuals. It's more so the Trump supporters. A lot of them are against the gays. I know I get ridiculed from a lot of people that wear MAGA hats, and I don't think Donald Trump himself is against homosexuals or Jews. As a matter of fact, he used to. There was I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of sources have pointed me to the fact that Mr. Trump used to actually date a gay Jewish man.
Well, there you go. Hey, I want to tell you a little joke, okay? I heard it on, this was from All in the Family. Today, that would be racist, according to the world we live in today. There was a priest and a rabbi talking with each other, okay? And the priest said to the rabbi, he said, "Why do you like ham?" And the rabbi said, "Well, it's against my religion." And then the rabbi asked the priest, "Why don't you date women?" And he said, "Well, that's against my religion." Then the rabbi said, "Well, guess what? Dating a woman is a lot better than having ham." So, I mean, I'm just trying to say that, you know what, we're all too sensitive today about this racial nonsense and biased. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're gay, if you're a lesbian, hey, that's your choice. God gives you free will to make your decisions.
That's
I
right.
say, hey.
It doesn't matter if you want to go and suck dick or whatever. Everybody has to make a choice.
Well, everyone has a choice, but they have to live with their choices also, okay? And I appreciate your call, and I hope you stay on the line. I'm going to bring in a pastor right now, a doctor from San Diego, California. He's a pastor, and he's going to give us some knowledge of wisdom here, and he's well-spoken. He's been on the show before. Dr. Peter Ventura, welcome to the program. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
Good evening, Joseph, and your listening audience. Very interesting program this evening. I happen to have a room full of people myself and a cat. And we've been listening. My cat left at the last one. I don't know why. But I thought Tone was on for a minute there. I wasn't sure. Good to that. I think that the problem is this. First of all, we have to remember that we are a nation of laws. And although the liberals want to throw the Constitution away, for example, during the recount of votes down in Florida the year before, they made them pass a law that if the signature did not match the inside ballot signature on the outside of the ballot of a mail-in ballot, that it couldn't be counted. But when the Democrats started losing, they went to federal court and they asked the judge to overthrow the Florida law so that they could count it even if it doesn't.
Dr. Ventura, hang on. I just want to let all the callers on the line here tonight. My phone lines are completely full. That's a good thing. Everyone will get a voice on my program. All you got to do is be patient. And liberals, like I always say, you run out of 3 minutes of brain time. But Dr. Ventura, continue.
Real quick. Hey,
Go ahead,
still on the line, right? Yeah, I want to say.
You're still on the line.
Is it Joseph? Is it Joseph?
Yes, Joseph Gibson. Go ahead.
Hey, Joseph. I want to say, I appreciate the show, and I know you got a lot of fans out there. I'm glad to see you got a lot of callers calling in now. It seems to be a very popular show, and I'll tell you one thing right now. I appreciate what you do, I hope you keep up the good work, brother.
Hey, thank you so much, sir. I know you maybe have to go, but I want to listen. Please follow me on Facebook. I'm there, and I'm going to tell you right now. I always give everyone my personal number: 336-419-7236. You can call me anytime, and a lot of my fans know that. I talk to a lot of them many times, and you sound like a very well-educated man. And I'm not going to say black, white, or whatever. It doesn't matter what color you are, as long as I judge you by your character and who you are.
Well, you know what? I tell you one thing right now. You can go ahead and call me a nigger, because I'm a black man. I don't care. Because that don't offend me.
Hey, man.
I'm not one of those. Social justice warriors. A little liberal. It's dumb. It's dumb how people want to say, "Oh, I gotta be offended."
But according to CNN, all the black people in America, which we had a friend here who was African American. I don't like to say that because I think we're all equal, but he had a 105-year-old great grandmother that voted for Trump. But the news media won't pay attention to that because Donald Trump is a racist, right?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. All the news, all they did is a big witch hunt. The guy can't blow his nose without being reported. Oh, he blew his nose. He must be racist. I tell you what, I'm black. I'm a nigger. Right. I don't care. You call me that. I don't care. I consider you a buddy. You go ahead and call me that if you want to. You don't have to, but I tell you what.
All callers, listen, everybody will get a chance. Everyone that's dropping the line here and calling back in, listen, I'm going down the order. Everyone will get a voice here on the program, I promise. Go ahead, caller. Finish your point, please. Go ahead. You got to press though, people that want to talk.
Tell you what, you go ahead. You got a lot of callers. I appreciate the show. I want to say I appreciate the show. If you can keep me on the line, maybe I get a butt in sometime here and there, but you go ahead and take some more callers, my brother.
Well, I will. Well, yeah. Well, actually, I do that. I give everyone who calls in live a couple minutes at the end of the program. I try to give them at least 1 minute to talk. So, yeah, we got a lot of callers here tonight. And let's see if we got some crank callers here. Private callers. Go ahead. All right, there we go. He should be done now. Yeah. Let me just hang up on that. All right, let's see here. Let's put him on the line.
Mute him, Joe. Mute him.
Yeah, I just muted. I just hung up on him. I apologize for that. For the callers here. Yeah, I know. They're hacking into the show, and this is what liberals do. This is what they do, and they call back again. They really do. And Doc, before I get to 317, you're next. And if you're calling in a private number, if you're going to pull that crap, I'm going to find your IP address, and I'm going to find your real address. Okay? Yeah, hang up, coward liberals. Do it. There you go. They're gone. Okay. All right. 203, go ahead. Dr. Peter Ventura, go ahead.
Yeah, Brother Joe. As the man said, interesting program, good stuff, great content, and issues that really affect us today. The liberal agenda is more than that. They're trying to quietly, there's a revolution going on in our nation, and that revolution is a silent revolution. They're not using weapons. It's a revolution that's being forced to destroy the Constitution and to bring in a Bernie Sanders type of country. They want to make our agenda here the same as the European countries, and it was started with the socialization of Obamacare's medicine, and that was the outgrowth of it. There's an agenda going on, and they're trying to make this generation, this new generation that they call Generation X, They're trying to make this generation believe that they have an entitlement, you see, and they're trying to tell them that the Constitution of the United States says that they're to be made happy. And that's not what it says. The Constitution says you and I have the right to the pursuit of happiness. Nobody guarantees us happiness. And so they've convinced this younger generation that they're entitled to something and that they should be made happy, and they should be made happy at the government's expense. You see, and then we end up with a socialist society. And now the reason why they want this caravan in isn't really because any liberal really cares about any human being. They want them in because it's a vote. They've stuck up for them, so if they get them to the border, it's a vote. And they can get the House back, and they can get the Senate back, and they can get their government back so that they could bring in that new world, one world order, which is what they're trying to do, socialize us and bring in a one world order.
Yeah.
It's not a secret.
It's about a new world. It's about a new world order. And I'm glad you got an audience behind you listening, Dr. Peter Ventura. And I want to thank them for listening, and that's good. And we need to be taught about the pastors of churches need to teach about the new world order. They really do.
Yes.
You know, and I hope that's what you're doing.
Prophesied. You know, it's prophesied in the Bible, the New World Order, and we're at that place. And you know, the sooner people wake up in America and realize that somebody's trying to steal their country from them, and they're doing it from the inside out without guns. You know, we had the American Revolution, we had the War of Independence, and then we had our North and South Revolution, and now there's a new revolution going on in the United States of America, and that revolution is being fought without guns, and it's being fought in a manner that most people aren't paying attention because the government's got them so caught up in their bills and paying their bills.
Well, we got Amazon, but Dr. Peter Ventura, we got Amazon, we got eBay, we got our iPhones. And everyone out there, you press the number 1, I'll connect you live. I don't screen callers. We're 100% live. But Dr. Peter Ventura from San Diego, California, I want to thank you for calling in and checking in tonight. Your support of the show is always welcomed. And we've been in some heavy debates here, you know, and all callers just need to press 1. And even the spam callers, if you want to press 1, go right ahead, you know, and I'll mute you. So, but I do Peter Ventura from San Diego, California. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Let me say this before I go. Thank you, listening audience. You know, and I am a pastor. I don't agree with everything that's said on your program, of course, and your callers. I don't believe in, you know, Adam and Steve. I believe in Adam and Eve, and that's the biblical version. I'm a pastor. That's what I believe in. So, brother, you know, the listening audience, I respect your diversity and your time out here, and Joe, you have a wonderful show. I've got to go. I've got a church a Bible study about to begin, and so I took the time to kind of run in here. And thank you, Joe, and you all, listening audience, thank you for your time, and have a good evening.
Hey, thank you, Pastor, for calling in.
Thank you,
really
thank you. Yeah, that is awesome for Dr. Peter Ventura to take the time out from his church, his Bible study, to call into the show. That's awesome. I do appreciate that. And we do have some other callers on the line here. 662, that's your area code. I'm going to unmute you. Let's see. Go ahead. Oh, God. There we go. He's muted. All right. I don't know what. Hey, that's what happens. Hey, this is what happens when you run a 100% live radio show, you know, and we're getting down to the point where I want every. Yeah, that's what the liberals do. Exactly. You're absolutely correct. That's what they do. And I've got a private caller here. We'll see what they got to say. Let's see. Go ahead. Same thing. You're muted, and you're hung up on, and I'm going to block you, too. There you go. You're hung up on. Goodbye. Another private caller. Go ahead. All right, you're hung up on. That's Tone, by the way. That's Tone. He's a liberal socialist. He tries to crash the show as much as he can. But if you got something to say, folks, and you want to cue in, press the number 1, and I'll connect you. Okay?
Hey, George,
and Dr. Peter.
Into the show?
Oh yeah. Tone calls in from a satellite phone. He's actually a blog talker, hacker who calls into the show. Yeah, his calls are dropping now. He's been in the chat room. That's Flycatch, by the way, in the chat room. But
it's Flycatch in the chat room getting called.
Yeah, that's Flycatch. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. And you know, this show is about listening to people and what they have to say. Everyone has a voice on this program, okay? And we're getting down to the point now where I want to give everyone a few minutes unless there's a new call. Well, actually, Leroy wants to say something else. Let's get Leroy Dickinson back on the program here. And yeah, I see the private callers. I'm a little skeptical about connecting people right now on the private caller line because I don't want to take away from people who have something to share, honestly, from the program. I really don't want to do that.
Joseph, you say you got a 317 on the line? Because if so, I think I got a buddy for 317.
317. Let me see. Hang on. Let me look. I think that caller dropped actually.
Oh,
I think that caller dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have dropped. But I would love to hear from him if it's your buddy, because that would be great to hear from you.
Let me see. Let me give him a text call back in.
Yeah, do that, and I'm going to connect Leroy, and I would love to hear what he has to say. I'll give him a few minutes of talk, unrestricted. Go ahead, Leroy. Talk while we try to get.
I done lost my train of thought. I done lost my train of thought 30 minutes ago in this crap. I mean, hell, I muted myself, and you mute me anyway, but you sit there and let everyone else go unmuted. That was kind of wrong. But I know you muted some of the other ones too. But
you just have some background.
Yeah,
well,
I mute myself.
Well, you told me to mute you. You told me to mute you.
No, I know. I was saying mute me. I always mute myself when I'm done talking. That's all right, man. Don't worry about it. But getting back to what I was saying, we'll go back with the shootings in schools and stuff and everything else nowadays. Here locally to us, I don't know if you know this or not, but there was a threat in Northwest High School. It was about 10 miles away from us, and they've been preaching about it, and kids have been raising hell about it, but it's finally made it to the news now. And what the thing is, what has changed for all these school shootings? Because there was more guns in kids' hands and everything else. Matter of fact, I can remember bringing guns to school. Our kids brought guns to school back, 20, 30 years ago. And it wasn't to shoot the damn school up. It was to, it was for whatever they were doing. I don't know, clay shooting or whatever.
When I was in New Hampshire, Leroy, going to school at my grandmother's log cabin in the mountains, I'm going to tell you something. Kids used to come to school with their pickup trucks with gun racks. Nobody was shooting up schools there.
I had a shotgun behind my seat in my Bronco. So, I mean, you never thought about it. But what has changed is the question. What has changed is the way that child was brought up, playing these damn video games and everything, thinking there's no repercussions. That if he goes shoots the school up, he'll just respawn somewhere else. He'll respawn. That's what they call it, when they die in online games. But they get to come back alive and shoot some more. But, yeah, that's the way it is. And you can't believe, if you watch, I have several liberal friends, and I don't disrespect them or anything for their beliefs or anything like that. I like to listen to them and everything else. But if you listen to some of their stuff, they'll sit there and post things. There's been 312 school shootings since Trump has been president. First of all, it's bullcrap. And second of all, if you look up some of their numbers and you actually get to where they're getting their numbers from, they're calling some of these school shootings. When we say school shooting, we're thinking about Columbine and other places where, up in Newton, Connecticut and things like that. But they consider a school shooting. You're in a firearms class. You're in a firearms class, and the gun accidentally goes off. So that's a school shooting.
When you talk about the Columbine, they blamed it on the Marilyn Manson, the music. Now, well, not nowadays, but I say after the Columbine, they bought music, they blamed it on the video games. Now basically they say, so that's the question for you guys. You say, you know what? These liberals say, you know what? No more guns. They're gonna post on the library at any type of a bar, a restaurant, university, anywhere. This is a gun-free zone. Don't you think that's the first place they're going to target?
Exactly.
Damn right.
They see a little sign say gun-free zone.
Yeah.
They're going to go there first.
That's true. No weapons allowed here in this facility.
How many prisons have been shot up?
Well, I don't know about that question.
Not a damn single one of them, because all the guards got a fucking gun. All right, so they're not going to go there. I mean, real simple.
That's right. And how many bank, I mean, it's like, what, like I said, and down here in Rockingham County in North Carolina, we got a sheriff that's posted. And when I pull in that parking lot, I know, I'm not going to say what I know because I don't know who's listening. But, I'll protect my child with my life, and trust me, I'm well prepared. But I feel good that sheriff is there. We need armed guards in the school to protect our children. It's common sense, for God's sake. Gun-free zone.
Nowadays it is.
That's the perfect place.
Nowadays it is.
That's the perfect place to go
I would
hurt
protect
innocent people.
I would protect my children with my life, too, and I think you actually witnessed something like this about 10 years ago when something happened when they were threatening my children, and out in front of the parents' yard, some stuff went down. We don't need to get no details, but I did what I had to do, and guess what happened? I won in court. And but the thing of the matter is, your other caller talked about freedom of speech. Besides Mercy talking about letting these people walk across the border, it costs more for us to keep them here.
And hang on, Leroy. I just want to let everyone know. Hang on, Leroy. I just want to let everyone know, for all callers, we are getting down to the wire. But if you want to talk, press 1. Everyone's unscreened. I don't censor. Put you in a private chat room. Ask you like FM radio shows and other Blog Talk radio shows. We're 100% live here. So, Leroy, finish up your point, and then I want to connect some other people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to get back to what the closet tramp Tone was talking about. He was talking about, letting them cross the border and everything else. It does cost more money to keep them here. It costs, like $70,000 a year or something to keep one of them refugees here. But why don't we do what Obama said and just send them back walking? Wouldn't that be a lot easier? Think about that. I mean, he got cheered.
Not according to
Clinton
the liberals.
got cheered.
Not according to the liberals.
Not according to the liberals.
Well,
how many liberals have you got on the show tonight? How many liberals are out there right now wanting to debate any damn thing?
Well, we had one.
Not a single damn one.
We did have one. We did have one that actually said she disagreed. He disagreed.
That was Tone.
With the caravan.
Yeah, but there might be some in the queue. There might be some in the queue.
Yeah. All right. 760. Go ahead. Area code, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, Joe, this is Flycatch.
Okay. Damn. Go ahead, Flycatch.
We're doing Flycatch.
Yeah, you told me to call in. I want to give you an update on the caravan.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
They're going to have a protest. Yeah, they're going to have a protest march starting at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. We're looking at between 5,000 to 8,000 supposedly marching on the border.
Okay. Well, we have about 10 to 15,000 U.S. soldiers down there, and another 5,000 ICE agents, and another 3,000 border agents with tear gas. If they want to raid our border, then God bless our border agents and protect our border agents and send them back where the hell they came from. What do you think about that?
But they got the Fast and Furious thanks to Obama, so they probably got better guns than we got.
No. Hang on. I want to hear from Flycatch. What do you think about that, Flycatch?
I think they're going to have an armed conflict tomorrow. And everything's going to be blamed on us. Yeah. That's what they're itching for right now.
Yeah, I agree. And that's and Flycatch, that's my point here of the entire show. These liberal socialists out there, they want to take away the First Amendment, unless it pertains to them, because they'll call you a racist, a homophobe, hating gays, LBGTQ, PTQ, whatever they call themselves, and everything else, and you're a Nazi if you support Trump. That's what liberals do. How about having an honest discussion, liberals, and talk like human beings and not plunge this country into an armed conflict? Because I'm going to tell you right now, this country has never been more divided ever since the Civil War. And we know what happened in the Civil War. It was brother against brother, sister against sister.
What you're looking at basically when it comes to the liberals, they can't.
Hang on. Let Flycatch. Hang on, caller. Let Flycatch speak. I was posing that question towards him. Everyone's going to get a chance to speak at the end. I promise. Go ahead, Flycatch.
All right, Joe. I believe you have a perception we're divided, but I believe we're more united than divided. The majority of people voted Trump into office. Well, the majority voted Trump into office using the Electoral College. and that tells me a lot.
Yes.
What we got.
Well, that's why we have an
people,
electoral college, Flycatch. Hang on, everybody. Let me explain this very clearly. That's why we have an electoral college, because in a democracy, the majority rules. How can the minority in our country ever receive rights if the majority always rules? We are supposed to be a republic. That means the minority gets the voice. That means it's like a jury. What happens if you have a jury and one person says not guilty? You're acquitted, because you have to convince everybody. The minority gets the voice. You know, that we are supposed to be a republic, not a democracy. Tell me where in the Constitution or Bill of Rights or in the Federalist Papers, anywhere, the word democracy is mentioned, and I will shut up forever. It's never mentioned. Democracy means
right,
majority rules.
But mainstream media, they control the narrative. So they change words.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
and
true.
by changing words and they keep repeating it, people start believing it.
Amen,
that's the problem
brother.
we're having.
And I got a comment on my social media. They said, "Why do you keep saying the same thing over?" Because if you keep saying the same thing over and over, people will begin to wake up and understand is really happening. It's just like terrorists, terrorists, bad people. The boogeyman's hiding under your bed. Come on, man. How many people have died from terrorist attacks in the country since 9/11? None.
Yeah.
All right? None.
I'll leave you with this, Joe. I'm going to leave you with this. We have a polio epidemic going on right now. Are you aware of that? It's a strain of polio that we've never seen before. It has affected 31 states, and it coincides.
Well, it's not being reported in the fake news, is it? It's not being reported in the fake news, but I'll look into that, I promise, after the show. I promise you.
And you will find out, because I looked at the map. The largest outbreaks coincide with the largest number of illegal aliens.
Well, you know, I don't want to blame illegal aliens for polio
outbreak. I'm going to blame them because
the CIA. Well, Flycatch, if you know anything about me, I worked for the government undercover. Let me tell you something. The government shipped the drugs into this country. You know,
it has nothing to do with drugs.
We're a corporation.
Joe, the people coming across this border are bringing diseases with them that we haven't seen in 50 years. And that's a fact, Joe.
All right.
Can you imagine letting these damn people in here? All right. Can you imagine what's going to happen to the youth of America when these same people get into our schools?
Yeah. Well, they're all entitled, aren't they, Flycatch? Aren't they? They're entitled to asylum, even though asylum has nothing to do with illegal alienation. You know,
they're
look
entitled,
at polio.
They're entitled to nothing, Joe. But this has all been staged.
They're entitled to nothing. Polio has been eradicated everywhere around the earth except for India.
Joe, did you listen to the speech
stuff out there we don't know?
Hang on, let Flycatch finish up his point, and then I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to speak, like I promised.
All right.
Okay?
This is all I want to say is President Trump made a speech at the United Nations, and in this speech he said, "You will not take our sovereignty." And by that he meant he would not sign the immigration pact that everybody else has signed on to. And this is payback from the UN.
I agree with you 100%, Flycatch. I really do. I do. Flycatch, I know.
Right.
I agree with you. I do agree with you 100% with everything you said, and I thank you for calling in here. I want to give everyone a chance. You too, and I appreciate your support of the show. I really do. Thank you for calling in, Flycatch. I do appreciate that. All right, I'm going to go down the line here tonight. Like I said, the first caller was 276. I met him on social media. It's good to meet good friends like this who understand the truth. But 276, I'm going to give you a few minutes here to talk and voice your opinion on my show worldwide. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody here tonight. I tried, and we had a lot of crank callers. But 276, go ahead. Say what you want to say. Your voice is going to be heard. Yes, I can hear you
Can you
loud
hear me?
and fine. Go ahead, sir. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a Verizon commercial. This show is just great, man. I've been listening the whole time, and I really like what you're doing here with this Blog Talk Radio. With this migrant caravan, my closing remarks would be, I believe George Soros most definitely has something to do with this, and it's definitely an organized effort, and I think everybody on this show can deduce that. It's really coming down to the wire, like everybody's been saying. That this is really tearing our country apart, and I wish people would just see logic and see what's really going on behind the scenes. What the Don's really trying to do. He's trying to keep us out of this new world order, this one world government that the United Nations is trying to force on us, and it's not what we want.
Right.
And
hang on, let me interrupt
madness.
you. I see a few other callers here who want to queue in here, support as a program. We got time, but I want you to finish your point, and I'll get to everybody, I promise. So just pay attention and just listen for a few minutes, and I'll get to everybody. Go ahead, sir. Finish your point.
Oh, yes, sir. I really like the guys on this show, and I'm definitely going to stay tuned in, man. And I really thank you for the opportunity to come on here and talk on your show, man. Thank you for giving me an uncensored chance, to talk to a lot more people than I'm used to talking to.
Well, amen,
so really
brother. And you're
it.
a friend of mine. You're a friend of mine now. I got you on Facebook, on social media, and next show, I'd love you to come on. And that's what I do. We got to use our First Amendment right to speak and talk to each other, whether we agree or disagree. But that's what it's about. We don't want it to come to the guns like the liberals do. They want to take our guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And that's no bueno.
Well, they're not getting my
Thank
guns here.
Hey, let's go to 909. This is a new caller here. And then I got 203 in Connecticut. Connecticut, my home state. I would love to hear from that person. Go ahead, 909. Oh, 909. Go ahead.
Hello.
You're live.
Hello. Hi. This is Suzette calling
How
from
you doing?
California. I'm fine. I've called you before.
Well, thank you for calling back.
Well, no problem. I'm usually listening because I love your show and the content that you have on there. The fact that you let everybody speak. And even though you have a bunch of LARPs that want to call and do pranks, they're immature and they have no business calling in.
There's nothing but trolls here. They're trolls.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, when was the last time that anybody said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the democracy for which it
Don't
stands?
interrupt me.
Hang on. Don't interrupt her. Let her finish her point, please, because everyone is going to get a chance at the end. I promise. Go ahead. Let her finish her point. Go ahead.
Our Pledge of Allegiance does not say that we pledge allegiance, as far as to the democracy, we say to the republic for which it stands. So if anybody's confused about what this country is about, we are a constitutional republic, as you were saying. So yes, you're absolutely 100% correct on that. And as far as the gun
Are you going to
goes,
take a knee when you say that Pledge of Allegiance?
Excuse me?
Like the NFL players do?
Well, they pretty much
let her finish. Let her finish her point, please. Let her be uninterrupted because this is a supporter of the program. Please go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
I disagreed with them kneeling on the field. These are athletes that are very talented and skilled at what they do, and they get paid for it. They were on the job. They shouldn't have done that. If they want to protest something because they have a genuine issue, well, you do have downtime, and they can use that downtime to organize and have a protest or have a concert or have something. Put their money where their mouth is, and they don't. They just wanted to make it skeptical. So that's my view on that. As far as the guns go,
amen, ma'am.
I think that
as far go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, the schools that are being shot up and the mental illness, they don't want to deal with the issue of mental illness. So far, all the shootings that we have had on the school grounds is somebody that's mentally ill, or somebody that slipped through the FBI's hands and they were mentally ill. So deal with that, not with the guns. I mean,
well, that's right. I mean, That's what people look at. Guns kill people. No, they don't. Now, ma'am, you seem to be very intelligent here. Do you mind me asking your name?
Suzette?
Or do you mind? Suzette?
Yes.
Are you a brunette?
I am.
How do you know that?
I know who you are. You are a very popular woman, a very beautiful woman.
Well, thank you.
If I may say. But, I have to ask you, does the carpet match the drapes here?
Well, now you're getting personal.
Right,
but yes,
sir.
if you must know.
That's very inappropriate. That's very inappropriate.
All right, sir.
Don't be asking questions like that.
Sir. All right, come on. Let her finish her point. All right, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Don't
finish.
Like that.
I'm gonna get let her have 1 minute uninterrupted because I got other callers on the line, and I thank you, ma'am, for supporting my show. I don't know if you're my friend on Facebook or not or Twitter, but you're following the show obviously, and I do appreciate you because you are intelligent, you're well spoken, and you're always welcome to call into this program. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate you and what you do as far as getting the content out there for people to learn about. So that's good. One last thing, as far as the whole GM and them moving their plants or shutting down plants and laying off 14,000 people, and the news comparing it to Solyndra. They're two different issues, and same with Carrier, because Solyndra was already a dying company, and yet Obama still invested our taxpayer money into it, and that money ended up going to his friends that were trying to keep Solyndra.
Suzette, you have to
Sir,
understand.
I don't want hang on, sir. Yeah, sir, please. I don't want her interrupted. I want her to finish her point. Everyone will get a chance to speak at the end here. We're wasting time. I want her to finish her point. Please. Go ahead.
That's right. Give
Go ahead,
time,
ma'am.
Sir. Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, as far as the whole GM thing and them receiving subsidies, Trump is right to cut them off if they're not going to keep their plants there and have people be out of work. They're just moving their plants to another state. But what's the difference? I mean, if we're going to give them incentives to stay and, employ 14,000 people, that's a lot of people, out of work. And there was no need for them to do that. And so they're two different issues. Obama just let Solyndra die and take our tax money, and it's gone. So if GM wants to cry about their subsidies being taken away, well, you said you were going to stay. You said you were going to employ, and you broke the deal, so you get nothing. That's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support of the program. And like I said, you're always welcome to have a voice on this program. I wish I can give you more time. It's just that we got so many callers here. I want to get to Meriden, Connecticut. I'll leave her live on the line. She can just listen. 203, Meriden, Connecticut. Go ahead. You're unmuted.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
No, Tone, shut up, will you? Come on. Just because we got you riled tonight doesn't mean you have to act like a goddamn jackass. You really got him going tonight. He's calling in from all kinds of friggin' numbers. God almighty. Get a life. Go back to your wife or him or whoever it is, for Christ's sake. I pledge allegiance to the Republic. America is a state of mind. That's what it is. What's bringing me to tonight's show. It was a really good show. It's really, really hot and going. I mean, just look at Tone. I mean, he's out of his tree, for Christ's sakes. But, nothing against anybody at all. But let me tell you, during the show tonight, just alone during the show tonight, these people at the border, send them back. They don't belong here. They need to come the right way if they're going to come. And whoever's paying them, we should find out who's paying them to come, because they're not coming by themselves. They didn't walk 2,600 miles without shoes. That's for goddamn sure. And during the show tonight, I had people coming from that country. They're out in front of my house. They're blowing their goddamn horns left and right. They're throwing their trash in the street. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're America full of crap and shit. Because Trump is right. It's a shithole country. And I think most of them are good people. But if they want to come here, they need to act appropriately. That's it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Connecticut. I really do. And I've got two other callers. And I want to give people closing remarks. I know Mandelacon's waiting to get in here, and Leroy and everybody. But 256, hopefully you're not a crank caller. Please. Go ahead, 256. Area code 256. You're live. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can
Go
you
ahead.
hear me?
I just said twice already. Go ahead.
Oh, that's my brother Juan. That's Juan.
Oh, all right.
This is Juan from Alabama. And I just wanted to comment on, y'all got your own opinions and whatnot about the caravan. The guy was talking about this is what they're going into and all that good stuff, and people talk about how these people got iPhones and they don't look that poor. No one said these people are poor. They're just taking political asylum. So, there might be doctors and surgeons and teachers among them. They're going to have cell phones. Someone,
hang on, my friend, hang on.
There's a big difference.
Political asylum. Hang on, everybody. Political asylum means you go to the closest U.S. embassy. You go to the next closest country. You don't storm the borders of the United States. That's what political asylum is. That's under the law.
Okay. And you have to be fleeing from something that's life-threatening, not them seeking political asylum 2 countries over because you want to come there and collect their benefits.
Hang on, Leroy. Let 256 answer my question. Under the law, political asylum is you go to the closest U.S. embassy and apply for a political asylum. Under the law. If we're not a country of laws, sir, then we have no borders and we're nobody. And that's not the way we operate here in America. And, if we're not going to be a country of laws. But go ahead. Continue on, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Can I get something in without being interrupted? I promise you it's going to be good.
I promise I will not interrupt you, and I'm asking all the callers not to interrupt them. Give him a minute or two to make his point. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, going through the border and knocking people down, that wasn't right. I never said that was right. Now, that's them MS-13s, right? Nobody wants them. I agree. Keep them out. But what the conservative media don't show you is the people that did go to the closest embassies and are seeking political asylum. Hey, they're sitting there right now. They're waiting. People, have you seen that on the news?
Actually, sir, hang on. No, actually, I do have to interrupt you. Actually, no, the fake news hasn't reported on that. And that's why we, the people, should report on that.
Right. Well, I'm telling you it's happening. Now, I'm not pro-caravan, and I'm not against the caravan. But the facts are the facts. Now, I don't care too much for them people from Central America that are no-gooders and MS-13s and just trying to get a free ride and be on welfare. Hell, nobody wants them. You're right. Logic. Who wants these people here? But the people that are really trying to come across and they're doctors and, they're people want to sequester family and trying to reach political asylum. Well, hell, they're waiting. They're out there waiting. They're the ones that wait behind and ain't crossing the borders. I ain't gonna show you that. All you're gonna see is the fat lady with the cell phone that's all upset with the 10 kids and all that and throwing trash on the street. Well, heck, people of all races do that. Like you got corn-fed white Americans that do that here, and they got no pride in their own country. But you have that everywhere. But y'all don't see that. Y'all don't report that. All I'm saying is what's right is right. No storming the borders. There's a right way to do it. There's a legal way to do it.
Hang on.
Roll Tide, that's right. I agree with that. Roll Tide. I am from Alabama. I'm a big Crimson Tide fan. But right is right. Now, if there's people there that, that's going to contribute to, well, what the hell is that now?
I don't know. Somebody's yelling in the background. But go ahead. Go ahead. 30 seconds because I got a couple other callers I got to get to. Press 1 if you want to talk here because we're going to be running out of time real soon. So go ahead, sir. 30 seconds. Finish your point, please.
Well, my point is that there's good people and there's bad people, all right? And let the good people through. If if they get bad. If they don't get bad, well, don't let them in. Simple as that. But don't make this a racial issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got to ban them. That's right. But you got to see all points of the news. I don't want MS-13 here. I don't want to take immigrants in my.
All right, everybody. I'll start muting callers. I'll start muting callers if you're going to talk over everybody. Well, sir, 256. You made some good points. You can stay on the line. I appreciate it. I really do. And I don't do commercials. I let everyone speak live, and we got so many callers here tonight. We really do. And I wanted to get back to Mandelicon also.
Go ahead. Let's take some more to callers.
Yeah.
Let's take some more to callers.
All right, yeah. 506. Nobody interrupt, please. Nobody interrupt. Let everyone make their point quickly. 506. Go ahead. You're live on Blog Talk Radio, understanding the times in which we live in today.
Hello, my son.
All right. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. All right, goodbye. All right, 413.
What happened?
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. You want me to unmute him again and see if he has a point to make? All right, unmuted. 506. Make your point.
I hope he does.
This is Dr. Kent. I was trying to make a point. I am calling from Moncton, Canada. I have several doctorates. I am a rabbi, a pastor, and a dean at Mount St. Mary's College.
Jesus Christ, mute him.
Yeah, goodbye, sir. Goodbye. Yeah, you're right. Mute him. Call in again from another number, 506. No, I got to mute him. I got too many other people on the line.
What's that about?
I don't know. We got too many people on the phone line here tonight.
Hey, I understand that, but you took another pastor. So what is wrong? What is so wrong with him?
All right, let's listen to 506. Let's listen to 506. Go ahead, 506. Make your point.
At least hear him out.
All right, let's hear him out. Go ahead, 506. Go ahead.
What is that problem that you have with me? I am a caller.
The problem is I want to hear your point, sir. I want to hear your point. You said you're calling from Canada, and I don't understand your area code you're calling from. So make your point. You got 1 minute uninterrupted. Go ahead, 1 minute. Make your point quickly.
Okay. I am calling from Mountain, Canada. That I don't know what is so hard to understand about that. Some people are slower than others. I get that. What I am trying to say to everyone is the Statue of Liberty says, give me your poor, give me your something else. But long story short, you will all deny me before 3 times you will deny me before the rooster cockadoodles in the morning.
Okay, all right, cockadoodles. All right, okay, good. All right, that's tone. Yeah. I know that's a crank caller. All right, area code 205. Go ahead. Go ahead, 205.
Thinking about the bust-down paper boy.
Tone's got a following tonight, boy.
All right, Tone's got a following.
Sounds like to me, Tone got all his gay Uber drivers. And the same damn taxi cab,
everybody.
and had him calling the show.
Leroy. All right. Listen, we got a lot of good people on the phone line here tonight who know what they're talking about and understand, and I want to give everyone a final voice here tonight because we are pressed for time. We had a crazy show here tonight. Obviously, we had many callers, and like I said, I want to thank everyone for your support. I really do. And, hey, follow me on blogtalkradio.com/Joseph Gibson. If any of you want to talk in private, listen, I'm not scared to give out my cell phone number, 336-419-7236. Mandelicon, you got a minute and 59 seconds. Go ahead, brother. I'm going down the line. Mandelicon.
Again.
Oh, my boy. Mandela, stop interrupting.
Hey,
I'm going down the line, or I'm going to mute everybody.
Let me say this to those who will try to silence. You don't stand for no freedom, justice, or independence. Now, I'm going to say this. I heard someone say that we haven't had no act of terrorism
Don't
since
interrupt
9/11.
him. I'm muting everybody. All right. Everyone has to be muted until I get to you. All right. He has a right to speak. I'm muting everybody who's interrupting. Okay? Everyone has a right to speak at the end of the show. I give that right to everybody. Go ahead, Mandela Khan. Finish your point.
It's a good thing that you put forth that you got the Constitution, God, country, and guns, these good, honorable, ethical, noble, beneficent men who's acting out like everyone is speaking out of the east end of a horse's ass, but you have a right to do so. And I'm going to exercise my right, whether you like it or not. But the fact of the matter is, since 9/11, I heard someone say, and it was endorsed, that we haven't had an act of terrorism since 9/11 in the country, which is a goddamn lie. Because if you look at the many people who died on that day compared to all of the state-sponsored internal terrorists by, you say, a single Lone Ranger, or little Johnny Appleseed, or Johnny McGillicuddy, he was a good guy with the Bible and he just did a little bad thing. That's state-sponsored terrorism, the stage-activated, orchestrated, and presented by the state itself. So don't tell me, because I know that thousands and thousands of people since 9/11 has been killed in the mean streets of America by state-sponsored internal terrorism. And the second point to that is that you were saying that these people who's infringing on our borders, I know you don't like it, but I haven't forgot that there were people who infringed upon the borders of, and I'll call them illegal alien European invaders who trespassed on the Holy Lands. They were drunks, rapists, murderers, robbers, liars, and thieves that Europe sent them out of the so-called mother countries to the New World. And these people that founded, as you say, was not these beneficent, ethical, honorable, noble men, were they? They're no different than these people who have been used to coming north and south in the Americas before you set up this thing called people with borders and walls that you want to put up. And even though Hitler's down, the wall is down and Hitler's dead, you want a wall? Put it in Frankfurt and Berlin. That's where you need to put a wall at. And then I heard another thing about Israel. You know, we're going to protect Israel in North Africa. And you're the same people who talk about, well, we're going to protect the Union of South Africa. North Africa represents the dagger in the heart of Africa, which is Israel in the north. And then there's the dagger in the heart of Africa in the south called the Union of South Africa. So everybody's going to be up in arms now because the so-called foundling farmers, right, the foundling fathers of South Africa is about ready to get put out of their misery because of apartheid. So what I'm saying to you is that the Creator is not here just to serve and honor the eagle, the contract on America, which is the international state-sponsored terrorism that's causing death, destruction, and deficits, so much so that this is why everybody's trying to either flee from here or those who are trying to flee here. They're only here to get some opportunity. So this is the land of opportunity. The only reason they're coming up here is because y'all done destroyed the internal fiber of their country so terrible that these tyrants who they call themselves presidents in South Central America, in Africa, these tyrants are so out of order that people are fleeing the war against their own people. Like in Africa, these terrorist groups and all these kinds of things, this is already orchestrated by the Central Intelligence Agency, and y'all know it is. And what you want to do is try to say, well, these are some, what kind of countries? Y'all say these trash-ass countries? Trash-ass countries. But these same trash-ass countries, this is where y'all got to get all these commodities that's nowhere in Europe. What commodities am I talking about, Mandela Khan? Gold, diamond, silver, oil, plutonium, uranium, yellow cake.
All right, Mandela Khan.
cocaine.
All right, 30 seconds,
drugs,
Mandela Khan, please.
Drugs and tea. Ain't no tea in India. Ain't no tea in China. No, yes it is. There's no tea in England, France, or Germany. Where did the tea come from? Not England, France, and Germany. You know the Berlin Conference. Where does the coffee come from? Juan Valdez, the coffee bean man. Where does the cocoa leaf come from? Down in South America. Where does the poppy seed come from? Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq. So ain't none of that in Europe. So what y'all really fighting for is the commodities. You're not fighting for no goddamn justice. So you can send your Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines anywhere you want, but it's about done because the people are catching up, and we're learning very, very fast. And the only way out of this is the people's bloodless revolution, because ain't nobody going to kill their way out of this. People with the atomic bombs, they know that their asses are in serious, serious trouble because they can't threaten to jail and kill everybody. And even if you do use them atomic bombs, guess who's going to be here to repopulate the earth? Me and some woman that look like me. I check, make, slam, dunk, touchdown. The matter is closed.
All right, Medelicon. We've already talked about the European invaders, about, Indians and all that crap. The Indians were actually Mexicans. I'm
not talking about no Indians. I'm talking about the illegal European invaders who trespass on the Holy Land.
Aliens. Countries have been conquered. Hang on. It's my turn to talk now. Hang on. Countries have been conquered all throughout the world history. Study world history. I understand the continent of Africa, what's going on. We've gone over this many times, okay? Yeah. Look, the Americans who came to this country are here, okay? It's controlled by the European invaders, like you say, and it's not going to change. America's going to police the world. And I agree with you, the corruption exists, but it exists all over the world. I've seen it firsthand. Read my book, Behind the Walls by Joe Hodnett. I know. I saw it on the local level. I survived 2 murder attempts on my life being set up by the government. I understand corruption. Okay? All right? All right? So, anyway, all right. Well, you always have a voice, sir, on my program. You know that. Come on now. Don't get mad. Get even.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I just give an African ass whipping when I know that I got you by the wall. I got you by the wall, Bill. I got you by the wall.
I love you. I got to mute you because I want to get to another caller because I don't want any background noise, but I love you. You know that. You're my friend, and I know we can get along to go along together. I believe you do want something for the people and to help the people. We're running out of time. 443, is this Brother Mercy? I want him to have a couple minutes here. He's been quiet. Go ahead. Is this Brother Mercy? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, this is Brother Mercy. I just wanted to. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Everybody else can too. Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to clear some things up. I wasn't saying to let people just come across the border. What I was saying is that it's not as black and white. What I was trying to say is you just send them back. But I don't believe you always have to incarcerate them because then that takes out of our budget. Doing that. So I'm just saying, just keep them from coming in. I know Trump is trying to get a wall. I'm just trying to say, try to find a way to keep them from coming in here. Is what I was trying to say. I'm just not the whole thing because there's a woman right now that got a baby right now suing the U.S. government for $60 million because her baby died in one of these little, when her baby's being detained, and so now you're gonna get all these.
Brother Mercy, I think I lost you, Brother Mercy. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The government may have to pay out all these lawsuits because the mother, the little baby died. Why, in the camp. So what I'm trying to say is that to avoid all these legal lawsuits and to avoid all these type of things, you don't have to cost. Just keep them from coming through. Just try to find a way to keep them. We got technology. We got all this technology. We got all this stuff. I'm just surprised we can't come up with a way to keep people out, of our country when we got all this technology and we got all these things at our disposal. I just don't think incarceration or detaining is the way, but I do believe that we can try to find a way to keep them out. Other countries do it. I know we can do it too. I'm just saying the detainment thing is not working because you're separating the parents from the families. It's the way it's going. They're separating parents. Keep the families together. Make these parents take care of their children. Don't separate them. Make these parents take care of their kids. They had them. Put them together and send them all home. Ship them all home. Just ship them all home in a box. Ship them all home, all together. Don't separate them. That's the problem I have. They separate them. And that's the problem. And when you separate parents from children, now the children becomes the government responsibility. And so you don't want that. You want them to stay together and say, no, y'all came together, y'all go back together. Just send them all back.
And all I'm saying is I know there's a way to keep them out of our borders. We do it all the time. We got all this technology. I know we can do it. I'm just saying there's got to be a better way than incarcerating and these detainment camps, which all they do, all these people now doing, they come up with lawsuits now. And now this woman got a $6 million lawsuit against our government. So what happens if the government loses and they have to pay $6 million out? Who's going to pay for that? It's going to be us, the taxpayers. They're going to raise taxes. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to pay for all this, okay? So, I know you're going to say they're going to print money, but trust me, they're going to charge us for it. I already know how government is. They're going to charge us for what some foreigners are doing. And I ain't trying to pay for it. So all I'm saying is keep them out. Don't let them come in. And, just come up with a methodology to keep them out. Come up with technology and all that type of stuff. And then work with the Mexican government. Work with the Mexican police and have them come and extradite. You can extradite. You do all kinds of stuff. Have the Mexican police come over and take them, have the Mexican police arrest them and take them back to their country. Why we got to arrest them? Why we got to take care of them and feed them and give them medical care and do all this type of stuff? Have the medical say, hey, look, we got people over here. Come get your people. Other countries do it. We can do it.
All right, Brother Mercy, I got to cut you off. I got to cut you off here because I got a couple other people here I want to finish up, and they're going to be cutting me off very soon. But I think I got a new caller here, if nobody minds. Let's see what this person has to say. Area code 205. Go ahead. Go ahead, area code 205.
Hey, yo. How are you?
Hey, yo. I don't answer to hey, yo. This is Blog Talk Radio. You come with respect on my program, okay? You're muted. All right. They're getting ready to cut me off right now, but I appreciate everybody's support here. I really do. Next show will probably be next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to end the episode. I thank everyone for your support. I really do. I love all of you. I do.
Good night.
I love all of you. It was a great show. Good night, everybody. Take care.